There we go. Alright. Hello everybody. Let's put the music up. Wherever it is. It's in options. Okay, now I just need to download the games. Okay. I don't have the match sheet or the map. What I do have are 4 games and a lot of vodka. There we go. Alright. How is everybody then? I'll be honest, could be better, could be worse. Not doing great at the moment. England lost in the Six Nations to France. But they lost in a way that built up hope, just to have it crushed. And then I come back to find out my mum is going into hospital. So, I could be doing better. But, hopefully, tooth and tail will go right. I'll just pour myself a drink, and then we'll get right into it. That's not food, that is paper. Yeah. It's not food, it's paper. Paper can be surprisingly foody. It can absorb all the grease and salt and a lot of, vinegar and flavours. But that wasn't it. That was just paper. Oh, right. So, I have no idea which team either of these are on. I don't know what type they are. All I know is they're Harrow and Onyx. So let's just get on with this shit. See how it goes, because I'm hype. Onyx as a mercenary representing the Legion, and Harrow as, I think, General or Marshal. He's as not a mercenary, but a true member of the Royal Knights. So we got Squirrel Pigeon, Falcon, Skunk Cam Snake against Squirrel Lizard Toad, Falcon Cam Mine. So neither player running any tier 3, not too unusual. I feel a lot of people want to run tier 3s just in case, but most games a tier 3 won't be useful. I think the full tier 2 from Onyx is pretty solid. It's actually a deck that I've run several times. You use the pigeons to keep your really valuable tier 2 units alive, to keep up the tempo, and so you don't have to pay for them like every 60 food in 20 seconds Every time one of them dies, that's a big deal. So something that can keep them alive is great. But the 4 tier 2s synergize really well together. They can be a very powerful force. Haru, Squirrel-Toad Lizard. Much more tier 1 based. Squizzard is pretty good. I think Toads are a lot better than people think they are. I was trying out Toads this week a couple of times, and they seem to give a good account of themselves, especially against chameleons. And Squirrel Lizard has always been good, but lizards are doing even better these days with the chameleon nerf and the toad nerf. There's not a lot of stuff that's really... I mean, there's stuff that can counter pure lizard, but lizard with other units, it's kind of hard to counter that. I'd probably give this to Onyx just from a loadout perspective. The 4 tier 2 I think builds to a bigger peak than the 2 tier 2 that Haru's got, or the Squizzard. I think Toad Chameleon should be able to deal with that. But let's see. Currently the lizard's going in, picking off a snake nice and quickly. And this road means it's going to be really easy for each player to get at each other. And Onyx is going to find it hard to expand. He can't expand here since Haru has expanded forward. He will be able to expand backwards though, so he'll be able to put down some farms. And I suppose, I don't know if these two mills will really be safe for Onyx. Haru's got lizards, so it will be very easy for him to run around, pick off a farm, come back. But with this road here and the short distance, I think if Onyx, say, takes his mill, he hears the horn, he sees a bunch of blue dots on his mini-map, he just goes straight in. And the lizards are probably Haru's best bet against a mass tier 2. Lizards tend to do well against tier 2. If Haru wins, then blue team gets 2 victory points. If Onyx wins, then red will get 1 victory point. Alright. So blue is in the lead at the moment, farm-wise, not farm-wise, territory-wise, but also farm-wise because Haru's got 12 and Onyx has 10. But territory-wise, talking about the meta game, the grand strategy side of things, blue is in the lead. I think red is at the bottom. So Onyx has definitely got a bit of pressure on him to make this work, because we're getting close to, I think it's week 5, which is the first week where someone can actually win. A team can actually win. I think it's... What is it? Is it week 5? You need to be 7 territories ahead. So blue could actually hit that if they keep going the way they've been going. If blue's rise is going to be cut off at any point, it needs to happen now. Oh. These are falcons. The skin isn't really installed correctly, so please forgive that. Just make do with the blinking. Hopefully you're not all epileptic. Okay. Onyx, a bit further up on farms. Haru, getting there now. Both players going up to 16. Haru's going to be well ahead in army because he delayed his farms. Fight coming in. These chameleons doing a lot of tanking, while the falcons just shoot. Definitely goes Haru's way there. Not surprising, he was pretty heavily ahead in army. Snakes for Onyx aren't a bad pick. They do well against chameleons, they do alright against falcons. I think they even do decently against lizards when compared to most tier 2s. But they can't overcome that sort of deficit without doing some poking. Now, Onyx moving in again, but this time he's gone for mostly tier 1, which means his army's rebuilt a lot faster. But this campfire is Actually tanking quite a lot of hits. 4 squirrel hits is quite... It's not nothing. So, Onyx, that looked like it was going to go in his favour, but towards the end, it just tipped in favour of Haru. Now things start to get difficult for Onyx. His economic advantage for putting down the early farms is going to start running out. Haru has sold his toads. He's coming in again though. Onyx is being fearless here, but against this number of chameleons, it's just not working. Mass Squirrel isn't working against this many chameleons. I think Onyx really needs to go for the Skunk Falcon. Get all his tier 2s out. Like, 4 tier 2s are much greater than the sum of their parts. They work so well together. They've got great synergy. At the moment he's going for 4 chameleons, which isn't terrible. You want enough chameleons to sort of match your opponent, but I think some falcons would help him out a lot. They might get gunned down pretty quickly as a problem. Harry's got a decent amount of tier 1 as well as his own falcons. So, might be a little bit worried. Haru expanding forward, taking this base that by all rights should have been Onyx's. And with it he secures the campfire. Now this is on the low ground, so Onyx has the ability to harass. Hello, Chard. General Child Nobi. Where are my glasses? I don't know. Anyway. More snake poke. The snakes just about managed to get away. And Haru is now holding on the right side of the mill to prevent any further poking. I wonder if Onyx is going to go for one of these mills. It looks like he is. Yeah, he does. So army, Haru has been consistently ahead in army for a couple of minutes now, while economy's been pretty much even. I think that's partly because Onyx has mainly been focusing on squirrels, where between the 9, now 12 toads and the 4 chameleons, I don't think tier 1 is the way you want to be going. I really think Onyx needs to get some falcons out. I think he's got enough to tank for the falcons. That their high DPS will really make things worth it. Okay, so he stuck 2 farms down there. That's more than Harry stuck down here, but Harry's coming in. Now, this fight's over Warrens. This could go alright, but these toads, man, they're getting some good value. And Onyx looks crushed. All his tier 2 is dead. All his tier 1's dead now as well. He lost a whole load of Warrens. I think Onyx is... Yep, Onyx surrenders. Oh, fuck off, Raven. Build your mod right. Alright, game 2. I should have put the fucking B mod back on. Okay, so Squirrel, Pigeon, Falcon, Cam, Boar, Machine Gun from Onyx against Squirrel, Lizard, Toad, Falcon, Cam, Mine from Haru. Haru not changing his deck at all. Onyx changing it up a bit. Swapping out a couple of his units. The Boar is an interesting choice against Falcon, Cam. Haru mainly won off the back of his tier 2. So I don't know why Onyx thinks the Boar is a great choice. I think he'd probably want to go either Fox or Badger. The problem is, I guess with Falcon, Lizard, if Haru has scouts out the Fox or the Badger, he can just mass tier 1. God of TNT mods. Am I just going to stream 21 Generals? I'm probably going to stream 21 Generals because just after I've finished my games, Dale is going to start his episode. We've got 2 episodes of the 21 Generals tonight. So I'm probably not going to have time to stream after this. Anyway, depends on how quickly the games go. If the games go like this, that's a very quick surrender from Onyx. Hang on. Onyx. Onyx has built his Warrens really far forward, but he had the same number. He lost 1 attack. He tried to rush, just about failed to get them Warren. Now it's 7v4. That's not insurmountable. And then Onyx just surrenders. I mean, honestly, I think Onyx should have played it out, but Harry's going to take it and get 2 victory points for Blue. Blue continues their rise. It looks like, increasingly, it looks like the monarchy is re-establishing its rule. Right. So what else we got? We got Heartseed versus Epicosity, Mishi versus James, and QQ versus this guy. I'm pretty sure these are all green versus red. I mean, he's got machine guns. That can sort of help him. Anyway, whether he had a chance is irrelevant because he lost. He surrendered. So we're going for blue versus green. More Royal Knights against the Penal Squad. Epicosity, Heartseed, Squirrel, Lizard, Pigeon, Falcon, Skunk, Cam against Squirrel, Lizard, Ferret, Falcon, Wire, Balloon. Okay. So I don't think there's any particular advantage here, either in loadout or in map. Like, Heartseed can expand to this mill pretty safely, so that's going to be 3 apiece. I think the ferrets probably make Heartseed's deck a little weaker, but that's my bias showing because I'm really bad at ferrets. So, if Heartseed plays them better than me, it could work out. I've heard this guy say before that ferrets are actually good against chameleons, and I've seen some people agree with him. I've definitely had chameleons against ferrets and lost pretty heavily. Lizards don't have a great run. They could go all the way around, but they have to get past this Cambin first, and then they have to go over water, so lizards probably aren't going to be able to do too much in this game. They'll probably have to do straight fights, not runarounds. The wire I think is an okay unit. It depends what else you take with it. Wire on its own won't carry a game. It's sort of like Pigeon. You have to take other units with it. It can't hold the game by itself, but it can make some other units much better. Okay. Yeah. I think Heartseed could probably engage here. Epicosity's units are pretty injured, but he's decided not to. But still, that's 10 food to completely ward off one attack. It's not worthless. Then those wires definitely got advantage. That was 10 food for 3 lizards, so it's a 1-to-3 ratio there. The wire's actually really good because it's much easier for Epicosity to running with lizards either down this way or down this way than it is for Heartseed to attack, because Heartseed is going to either attack through this one way or this one way. Epicosity can attack up here, through here, or around here, and through here, because of this line of solid objects, means it's hard for Heartseed to hold in one position and defend the other. So the wire buying him a bit of time and doing some damage is actually quite useful. Heartseed's got a good map for barbed wire. Okay, now he's got the ferrets out. QQ, who I consider the best ferret player in the game, has told me that the secret to ferrets is getting out 4 of them as quickly as possible. So we'll see if that's true. Heartseed currently only has 2 of them. But the balloon is going to help quite a lot, both in terms of defense and in terms of vision. The ferrets can now shoot up on this high ground really effectively. It basically shuts out at least 3 of these farms and lets Heartseed able to pressure the mill. Okay, now the problem here for Heartseed is he's fighting in the water, but he's also fighting under his balloon, which does add up over time. I don't think Epicosity is coming in the way he wants to come in. He came in with just his lizards first, and he bled them out really quickly. The balloon's still up. It finally goes down, but he got quite a lot of value. Epicosity sold his chameleons actually to get these skunks out. I'm not sure that's the right call. Heartseed's going for 4 ferrets. The ferrets seem to be doing well for Heartseed, but with the barbed wire and the balloon giving them vision, the small river slowing down units even more, it seems like Heartseed's able to get quite a lot of value out of them. Okay, Epicosity gets over the river, picks off a warren, but can he get any damage done? It looks like not, and Heartseed has brought his lizards around very cleverly. It looks like they're not able to actually get much value out of it, but it's a good attempt. Now, the thing is, the econ value is actually the same for both players. This could go either way. I think equal economy at this stage, after the first big fight, I think it favours ferrets. Before the first fight, it favours the one without them because ferrets are bad in a straight fight. But now that Epicosity can't build up enough to actually just run over the ferrets, I think it goes in Heartseed's favour. But it's not that much. Yeah, Heartseed did sell the 4th ferrets. Well, technically he sold the 3rd and 4th. Okay, a run around from Epicosity to pick off a warren. Probably not worth it. He lost 3. Is it going to be 4 lizards? Yeah, it's going to be 4 lizards. So he lost 80 to get 60. Not really worth it. And again, he bleeds out his lizards before the fight starts. And takes a whole load of artillery ferret shots before he even gets to the fight. This time when Heartseed brings his lizard around, it works much better. Manages to get on the skunks, pick both of them off. He did lose a ferret, but he's still doing pretty well. He can sell a lot of barbed wire now, as his army is probably going to be able to defend well enough. I'm surprised Heartseed hasn't tried to get up another balloon, but maybe he doesn't need to. He is ahead in economy at this point. Yeah. These are falcons. It's a very poorly installed skin. Have to work on that. I would have reinstalled it, but I kind of forgot. In fact, I might just do it anyway. Let's go to pictures. Let's get the falcon skin. And let's just stick that in there. Alright, so next game we can just restart. As Heartseed comes in. He's getting some. He's retreating against a bunch of pigeons. He figures out that he doesn't need to retreat against a bunch of pigeons and moves back in. He still doesn't need to be retreating. There's one squirrel there. He could totally kill a Precocity at this point. Okay, I think this is going to be it. Heartseed's got quadruple the farms, he's got double the army. He's coming in, and that's going to be game 1 to Heartseed. I'm just going to quickly restart the game so the skins work, because that's what's really important here. Okay, Heartseed versus Epicocity, game 2. Squirrel, lizard, pigeon, skunk, cam, badger against squirrel, lizard, ferret, falcon, wire, balloon. So Heartseed's sticking with the same deck, and you know, don't fix what isn't broken. Epicocity changing it up a bit. Sticking it in the badger. I think the badger's the only change. I'll be honest, I can't really remember. It was a whole 5 seconds ago. Hello, Brandy. Hello, everyone in the chat who I haven't said hi to. Hi. Hope you're doing good. Okay. So this is a rough map for Epicocity. He's really got nowhere to expand safely. Heartseed has at least one safe mill. Alright, Master of Nonsense, sorry to hear about the acne, but the homework is not that big a problem. Okay, so Epicocity is probably going to have to one base all in here. Homework isn't a big problem. As soon as you stop having homework, you'll miss the days where homework was your biggest issue. I promise you. Let's get rid of this stuff. So seeing some tier 2 come out from Epicosity. The chameleons make sense, they'll bust through the barbed wire nice and quickly. Heartseed I think has recognised he just needs to hold on. So he's just gonna tank up. If I was Epicosity though and I saw this happening, like a bunch of defences going down, I'd probably expand over to here and try and get a hidden base working. Heartseed hasn't scouted there, and it's going to be quite a way for him to go if he ever wants to. So I think Epicosity could get away with it. But he's looking like he wants to put down something big. Are we going to see the badger? Badger? Badger, 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 badger. Nope, just squirrels. I mean, Heartseed's put down 2 balloons and 5 barbed wire. Like, that's quite a lot of money that isn't doing anything. If I was Epicosity... Has Epicosity scouted? Over here he has. If I was Epicosity, I would definitely take this mill. Let's see if he does that now. He's walking over there. Yes, he does. Good. Good man. Now he is going to have to... He's well behind in economy. So he's probably going to have to go straight up to 8 farms. At least 6. I want to see at least 6 farms come down here. Instead he's put down a badger. And only 3 farms. That might not be enough. He could afford to sell 1 or 2 squirrel warrens. You could definitely afford to sell the pigeons. I would sell maybe 1 or 2. I would sell the pigeon, at least 1 squirrel warren, and then stick it all down here. He's putting down more farms, so that's good. Heartseed has seen it. Epicosity is moving his chameleons over to protect it. That's pretty smart. Although it does leave him a bit vulnerable if Heartseed just walks straight in. That's 240 food that's not in the fight. At least not directly. Heartseed tries to expand to a 3rd, but immediately chickens out. Now, the badger, it hasn't been scouted out. And that bodes well for Epicosity. Epic, you need to rally all so your chameleons come over. Okay, he's done it. But he should have done it a while ago. He's losing the fight here in a big way. He doesn't have enough that can shoot up. So these falcons are going to wreck him. These falcons are what he's really worried about if he's got his badger going. Okay, he's got the badger out. He sells some tier 2. He's only got 3 pigeons, but these falcons at least are very weak. There's 1 down. That's 2 down. That's 3 down. That's 4 down. That's 5. Okay, the badger can clean up the entire rest of Heartseed's army if it's well microed. It's well microed enough. Heartseed retreats, but he got quite a bit of damage done. And he's still ahead on eco. No, I just put your skin on. Because that one works a lot better. And I know how to use it. Okay. Round 2. Epikosti's still slightly behind, but that's a lot because of his army. Not his army, his defences. There's only... Oh, there are 5 falcons up at the moment. That is sort of enough to burst down a badger. Okay, get on the falcons! Oh, I think this was a best defense is a good offense type moment. I think Epikosti possibly needs to sell these skunks. With 18 lizards coming out from Heartseed, this badger's really struggling to actually build up its rev. And there goes the badger. And that's 2-0 for Heartseed. Finally, the Royal Knights lose a game. On to the next one, Mishi versus James. These are the 2 leaders, actually, if I'm not mistaken. The leader of the Penal Squad and the leader of the Royal Knights. Yeah, Onyx, we saw the shitty Onyx guy. He was really shitty. Oh dear, we lost a follower. That's a shame. Alright. So, Squirrel, Lizard, Ferret, Falcon, Cam, Mine from Mishi against Squirrel, Lizard, Toad, Falcon, Cam, Owl from James. Unusually normal loadouts from both players here. Hey, we gained a follower. Susie's back. Cheers. Who won the first matches? And Terminal! Thank you! For some reason, the dashboard says we went down on followers, but I'm going to probably assume that's a bug. Or we just lost like 3 at the same time as we gained 2, but who knows. The VP1 will be doubled on both sides. So it'll be 4 victory points for either player. But thank you for the follows, guys. Dantes are imaginary people. They don't really exist. We've been through this before. Alright, so Squirrel, Chameleon from both players. Selling the squirrels to put down extra farms. Both people being quite greedy. Map-wise, I think probably in Mishi's favour. Mishi has the option of expanding forward or expanding down here. Both are pretty open to attack. James could expand here or expand up here, I suppose. So there's a couple of options. I think they're safer for James given the distance is shorter, but not by much. Anyway, this cam is injured. I wondered if it did something while I was looking somewhere else. Who knows? Probably the stream chat, but I don't. Whose cams are these? These are James's cams. They're coming in. They're picking off the farm. They pick it off. Oh, they don't pick off the second, but they get away unscathed. Well, not unscathed. They have a few scars. Yeah, I know, Raven. I know you sent me the fucking guide. I talked to you about it earlier this morning. But I'm gonna be honest, I do have some more important things in my life than trying to install one skin for one unit in one game. Like, that is not my priority, alright? So I haven't gone through the instructions yet. I will do it when I do it. But every time you talk to me about installing the fucking skin, I want to delay it just to piss you off. Alright? I have seen the instructions. It will happen when it happens. Anyway, loads of chameleons coming out for Mishi, whereas James is going up on an owl with quite a few falcons. Well, you're pissing me off. Okay, so James has managed to pick off a few farms with his chameleons. Is slightly falling behind in economy. But he has got the tier 3 out. So it's a matter of how well can chameleons hold off mice. I think 8 chameleons should be able to hold off one owl load pretty well. It's if James can continue building the owl count up, that it's going to be a lot harder. But there, one owl load comes in, and they don't get anything, they just slightly injure one chameleon, but he's going to heal up in no time. You can see him there with the green crosses going up. One thing James does have going for him is that the mice are so quick he can run around. He's expanding forward and he seems to have secured the position, at least for now. I'd expect Mishi to move in soon. Move in what? Yeah, move in now that the mice are dead. James coming in. He's got the slight army advantage, but so many chameleons for Mishi, that's so much health. Now, this is going to be different. James might be able to get some owl poking done. Now that most of the chameleons are dead, the mice might be able to get more and more work done, but he needs time to build them up. Oh, and that's a lot of falcons going down for James. James lost about 4 chameleons in that fight. That was a terrible engagement. So busy microing his owl, he didn't actually retreat his falcons in time. He's going to try and come around and pick off this base. Is this going to force a base trade? Mishi looks like he's coming around. Does James stick on this base? He does get it, but now he's caught in an engagement. And the owl's nearly dead. James needs to keep this owl alive. And it goes down just as I finish that sentence. Okay, if James can't hold off this attack, then he's in trouble. And the 6 falcons from Mishi are just gunning down anything James can muster up. And that's game 1 for Mishi. It was a close one. It was a tight run contest, but Mishi takes it. Alright. Game 2. Squirrel, Lizard, Ferret, Falcon, Cam, Balloon against Squirrel, Toad, Falcon, Cam, Boar, Balloon. balloons from both players is pretty unusual. Usually we only see one or none doing it. I think it probably synchronizes better, synergizes better, that's the word I wanted, with Mishi's army, due to having the ferrets who really benefit from that extra vision. James having the tier 3. The tier 3 wasn't enough to save him last game, hopefully it will this time, although the boar is possibly an odd choice. If you're losing to Cam Falcon, then there's not really a tier 3 that's good for that situation. Like, it should be the Badger on paper, but it isn't. So, there. Buff Badger, folks. Buff Badger. Everybody harass Eel to buff the Badger. Fox, not so much. Fox struggles against the... Fox can get caught in the chameleon trap. Enough Falcons can gun the Fox down while it's frozen, killing one Falcon. And then Mishi still has the option of just going mass Squirrel Lizard if he sees a Fox come out. Possibly a wolf, I suppose. Wolf with your own Falcons might be able to do it. I don't know. Cam Falcon just seems to be a very powerful combination at the moment, as it always has been. Except for that one time where chameleons were really, really bad. Because Mishi was listened to. Mishi was allowed to make decisions. Should one support the downfall of a king? Depends on how good the king is. I mean, if it's Joffrey Baratheon, sure, he goes down. If it's Tywin Lannister, he's fucking good at his job. Keep him. Probably should have gone with Jon Snow, since he was also good at his job, actually a good person, and actually a king. But Tywin Lannister was basically a king, and he was definitely the best king in the show. Like, fucking... No, second best king, Stannis Baratheon. Stannis was the best king, then Tywin Lannister, then Jon Snow. And then probably Robert Baratheon? Bobby B? Bobby B could arguably be the best king, but that's getting into stuff that isn't remotely related to the game. But at the moment, the game is playing out the same as last time. Both players getting up on farms really quickly, pumping out a lot of tier 2. Big difference comes from James splitting the tier 2 between Falcons and Cams, whereas Mishi is just going pure Cam. Both players have balloons up. In this map position, the balloon really favours Mishi. Like, it's going to be pretty hard for James to take this mill up here, which is his obvious third, whereas Mishi can take these two pretty confidently. This one balloon is not only going to help stop any push coming from this direction. Like, the push has to come over this road, come through these narrow gaps between the stump and the rocks, because this is all cliff. Has to come round, so that's going to get double shot. But it also just gives Mishi so much vision. He'll be able to see if James tries to come all the way around to one of these two mills. And with the ferret's range and damage with the balloon vision means that he can very easily poke at this mill. James is going for a tier 3, which I think is probably the best choice he can make at the moment. Mishi does scout it out. And is going for a lot of falcons again. A large number of falcons and chameleons. I like the 12 toads coming out from James. Toads are pretty alright against chameleons. Boar plus mass squirrel beats Mishi deck. We'll see. Okay, the boar is out. This boar's going down quickly. He wants to keep the boar bomb alive. And holy shit, it really does beat it. Coloru, you genius. Okay, keep the boar alive. Or don't. That's kind of a problem for James, just letting the boar bomb go off. That's a not insignificant part of the boar's utility. But he still manages to get the 2 balloons. He gets on the warrens, he gets on the farms. Falcons are going down, squirrels are going down. James is going to have to reconsider retreating before he overextends. But that fight definitely went well for James. Now, does he go for a second boar? I think he probably doesn't need one at this point. Mishi's only on 4 farms. He can't really afford that sort of army again. Well, he's actually on 5 because of this campfire. For some reason, that still isn't included in farms. Eel needs to get on that. Okay, now James can actually take this 3rd base. He could possibly move just straight in. He's got the bigger army. Toads get right on the chameleons, burst straight through them. So there's nothing to tank for those falcons, and James takes the win. We're going to game 3. Posh I haven't complained that much. You should see Haru or Onyx talk about the game. Holy shit, you want complaining, hit them up. Alright. Here we see Mishi, Squirrel, Lizard, Falcon, Cam, Mine, Artillery. A expectedly unique deck against James, who's running Squirrel, Toad, Falcon, Cam, Boar, Balloon. Same deck as last time for James. Mishi, the Artillery Cannon, and the Mines. An interesting set of defences, an interesting choice. Ooh, another interesting choice is James going 5 farm double. There's not an easy way for him to attack. He either has to come through here or go around. And this place is such a narrow choke point. It's still not that close, but it's such a narrow choke point. I don't see it working. But what is going to work is that Mishi hasn't scouted this double farm. This double warren. So he's likely going to die. He's put a couple of mines down, but he's gone over to 8 farms. He needs to get something down now. And he does get down a squirrel warren. But that might not be enough. Okay. I don't think these mines are going to do anything. 1 mine goes off. 2 mine goes off. I stand corrected. And Mishi holds. Mishi holds. He got up his 8 farms quicker. He only had to put down 1 tier 1 and went straight into tier 2. That was a good hold by Mishi. Although I really didn't expect it. Okay, so this is the pathway through, or you're going straight all the way around. So Mishi can put a couple of mines down here and be pretty confident that he can hold it. Like, it's so much harder for James to push through here. Mishi then has basically got 3 mills. So does James, but James is a lot more spread out. He's going to have to take one up here and one down here. And this one especially is possibly going to be in artillery range. Say that Mishi takes... Sorry, my controller keeps dying. Mishi takes this mill. He gains territory up to here. He sticks an artillery down here. Then this mill is in range. So is some of this road. And James can't really do much about it because it's blocked off completely. Oh, chameleons on the mill. Are you gonna get it? Halfway there. Just whacking away. And Mishi retreats. Why? We find out the reason is because James looked like he was coming in. There we go. Quick change of batteries. Stick them in the chicken box. And Mishi's re-attacking this mill. But he's bringing his whole army this time. 4 cams against 2 cams and 2 falcons. I think the 4 cams win. That seems to be the way it's going. It's the way it's gone. Now these farms are going down, and James instantly surrenders. And that's another point for green. That's 4 points for green. Unfortunately, we don't get to see the artillery. But, oh, Moose Meeson. I get that reference. That's the, I don't know. I've only ever seen animations of it. Moose Meeson in the woods. In the woodsin. Boxing. Sack skit. Don't know who does it. But anyway, Mishi wins. The penal squad is taking some territory off the Royal Knights at the moment. Is it going to continue? I think if QQ wins here, then at least one territory is going to flip to the penal squad. Alright, so Squirrel, Toad, Pigeon, Mole, Falcon, Skunk against Pigeon, against Squirrel, Pigeon, Ferret, Falcon, Skunk, Chameleon. Got it. Got it in 2. Alright, so this guy is a mercenary. QQ is not. Let's see how they do. QQ famous for his ferret play. This guy famous for his skunk play. And this guy running toads. This guy hates toads, but he is running them. Has he finally accepted toads into his heart? 4 tier 1, no tier 3? That's because tier 3 is bad. Maybe one day tier 3 will get buffed and people will play them again. But who knows? If only there was someone in the chat someone named after a type of weird electric fish. A water snake. Who had control over the balance of the game. Who we could all pressure into buffing the tier 3. But I can't think of anyone. Anyway, this guy is just going to mole rush. With a few squirrels, a few moles. Chameleons aren't out for QQ yet. This guy has the high ground. He's got a large number of units out. I think this is going to work for him. Oh, no, he retreats. He takes his one farm and goes home. Eel! Yeah, Eel. Eel, that's the person who I should have been bothering. Yeah, I didn't think of that. Didn't think of that. Alright. Chameleon coming in again. Good Chameleon micro from QQ until it died. Kept pulling it back as it took damage. Second one goes down. Second one isn't microed very well at all. And so now QQ is in a bit of a sticky wicket. He's quite low behind. He's quite far behind in army. He's a bit behind in economy. He's got the second mill up already. So he can get ahead in eco, but it's hard for him to do that. Cam's a weakness of Guy. I mean, you know, between moles and warrens, they seem to be doing alright. And this guy's coming in again with 15 squirrels and 5 moles, with another one on the way. There's only one chameleon on the front line, and that makes him massively worse. He's timed this attack well. QQ gives it up. I don't blame him. He was pretty much done for. But it looks like are the Royal Knights going to be able to stem the bleeding with their expensive mercenary? Can you DM me the skin pack? Ask Lucas, or can someone put the site on? What's the site? What's the name of the site which has all the skins on it? It's like Tooth and Tail Skins or something easy like that. Here we are. Yeah, Lucas got it. Yeah, I was about to put that in. But yeah, basically every mod is on there. All the ones I'm running at the moment are made by Lucas, aka this guy, aka the blue man who runs moles. So, you know, feel free. They're pretty easy to install. Only Europeans are allowed to use the site. Okay. Well, where do Americans get mods then? Anyway, QQ's attacking with 2 squirrels. Let's see if this works. It probably won't. It probably won't. This guy responded a bit too quickly. And QQ hasn't given up yet, but okay, he's given up now. A Latias Heat? The fuck is a Latias Heat? Oh wait, QQ's coming back. Is it gonna work? He's close to getting 1 farm. He's nearly there. No! Oh, that feels awful. He gets it. He gets 1 farm. Oh, thank God. That makes it all worth it. Oh. If QQ, genuinely, if QQ hadn't got that farm, like, he might as well have just surrendered. Just ahead of a Latias. You mean the Pokemon? That's what. You thought that someone had made a mod for the ferrets where everything was the same except they had a Pokemon for a head. Alright. If that's what you thought, that's what you thought. So, in more interesting news, what's QQ going to do now that this guy's building up for his patented push? He's got the moles, he's building the skunks, he's even getting the 3 pigeons. QQ's going for ferrets. I don't think they're the best option, but QQ's ferrets are pretty much better than everyone else's. Pikachu Archie skin sounds amazing. And we could get like a Squirtle, a Bellafeed, a Bulbasaur QQ, a Bulbasaur Quartermaster, and a Charmander Hopper. Let's just make Pokemon skins. And when I say let's, as in apostrophe let us, I mean letu, as in apostrophe let you, because I'm not gonna do it. Alright, QQ's gonna do what he can. He sold the ferrets to go for chameleons, but I think he would have been better just sticking with the bad decision rather than trying to switch into the good one. He's just delayed himself by too long with this. He's lost 3 ones already. He's lost his first pig. He does get 1 chameleon. Sorry, 1 skunk. And, you know, he had a farm appear. He's going for more farms, that's ballsy of him. Because this guy is going to come right back in. Watch it. And predictably, this guy is winning. QQ spent a lot of money on farms, he delayed himself by swapping out of tier 2s, and it just didn't really work. Alright, so the Royal Knights continue to go by just spending money, just, you know, making it rain, all on the mercenaries. They managed to keep up their momentum. They take a couple of losses, but this guy stems the bleeding. Alright, so Delphius is going to be streaming episode 9